For those who cannot remember history are condemned to repeat it. You just heard the sobering words from Victoria. They weren't about yesteryear, they were about yesterday. Night after night, she gets reports from inside Ukraine itself. The support should have been sent months ago to deter Putin from making that decision. The administration should have never used their political weight to defeat an amendment to stop Nord Stream sanctions. As you listen to Victoria talk about villages of children and women being killed, every single American should look and say we should not fund $1 of that to Putin. Tonight, I hope that all changes. Tonight, I hope the president stands up and changes course when it comes to the energy policy of America. Let's not send our money to a reckless, evil man that uses it to cause death around the world. Whatever the president says tonight or doesn't say, we cannot ignore the problems this administration has ignited. From a border, simply by his executive orders, become wide open. Fentanyl moving across our country. There's enough fentanyl in America today to kill every single American 7 times over. As you heard, it's the #1 leading cause of death in America for those of the age of 18 to 45. Those on the terrorist watch list that have found a way to enter America that we are catching. More importantly, those that we do not, that have entered. Inflation we haven't seen in more than 40 years. Crime running rampant throughout America based upon a democratic policy of defunding the police and electing DAs who believe in not upholding the law. We cannot sit around and wait, whereas this administration told us that they would send the COVID test to you, just get online. People waited 2 and 3 months. That same thing cannot happen to Ukraine when we're supposed to send them weapons. Every single American wakes up every morning to see, did President Zelensky survive another night? They will not be able to survive another night if we don't supply them with the weapons. They're not asking for American men and women to fight. They're just asking to have some supplies so they could at least have a fair fight. America has a long history withstanding those who believe for freedom. And we need to keep the responsibility that we have led once again. With that, let me open it up for questions. Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions, if I may. First, show of hands. Planning to attend the State of the Union tonight? Okay, thank you. And second, can you please respond to Marjorie Taylor Greene attending the white nationalist conference over the weekend?
You know what? I commented on that on yesterday. I understand your job. I understand what you're trying to do. I've already commented on that. We've got a war in Europe that we have not had since World War II. We've got people in a village and others, and you can take my statement that I said yesterday and play it one more time. Yes.
Comedy Dukert from Newsmax. What specific weapons are Republicans willing to fund in this upcoming spending bill? We've seen the GUARD Act and what that entails. Are we talking about anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems, new jets? How far would Republicans be willing to go on this?
I think we'd see, what does Ukraine need to defend themselves? First, they need anti-tank missiles of where we're able to go. They need some air defense support. They need ammunition. They need rifles, machine guns, and others. They've got the long list that they've actually provided to us. I'll leave the military experts to tell us. We've got a lot of military experts directly behind me, and we will be there. The real challenge is Just as I asked the presidents months before, why wouldn't you send them then? If you send them before Putin comes in, there's a really good chance Putin might not enter. Think about how difficult it is to get it into the country today, or even to get it to the front lines, as the cities are being encircled. And if we're going to wait like we had to wait for COVID tests, I'm not sure there'll be someone there to give it to. Imagine if Ukraine had just half of the weapons that were left in Afghanistan. If they'd had just half, I imagine Putin would not have entered. And the interesting part is, they're willing to pay for it because they just want to be able to defend themselves. They're not the aggressors. They just want to defend and save their own families. I think we should be able to supply that. Yes, Chad.
Thank you. Good morning.